Now world-renowned, Ironman has its roots on the Pacific shores and lava fields of Hawaii and has since found its way to the southern tip of Africa. Today, this region is synonymous with the Ironman story. Welcome to Beyond the Bay, a journey through Nelson Mandela Bay, where pristine beaches meet untouched wilderness and where the vibrant pulse of a region rich in arts and culture dances with the spirit of the Big Seven. Is that a lion? Right here. As we leave the magnificent waters and the winding roads of Nelson Mandela Bay behind, our adventure peers down to the metronomic final leg of the Ironman run discipline. This episode is a homage to where the spirit of the athlete converges with the soulful beauty of the bay. This morning we're on the beautiful run course of the Isuzu Ironman African Championship here in Nelson Mandela Bay, and I get to hang out with one of the fiercest triathletes you'll meet out there. She's also one of the most caring individuals, Michelle Enslin. Very nice. Oh.
Made a good choice for you.
Cheers, thanks for joining me. Not a bad way to spend a morning after a run.
We've been threatening for years.
Yeah.
We've been threatening, let's do coffee, but mocktails, far better.
But Michelle, I'm actually interested in getting to know you and your story a little better. I've known you through triathlon. I've seen your name in the newspapers since I was a kid. Who is Michelle Enslin? Tell us.
Who's Michelle?
Yeah.
Michelle is a person who has great gratitude for life, doing what she loves, swim, bike, run, and by swim, bike, running, have the ability and the platform to change other people's lives.
So it's interesting that you say you like to use it as a platform to help others and inspire others because your name is prominent, you do get a lot of attention. I would assume it's all about you.
No, it does feel like it. For 12 weeks of the year before I go into a big race, my family sacrifice everything. But on the day of the race, it's this huge celebration of all the work, but ultimately, the platform I have is to support and raise awareness of the various charities, and the biggest one being Ironman for the Kids. If I win, people will listen to me. If I don't win, they're not going to listen as much.
Oh, wow.
So winning for me carries far more weight than just the win. People will listen to my voice, and it gives me an opportunity to create awareness of other people's situations.
I'm not sure I actually know this, but where did your Ironman journey start for you? You mentioned, I think, 17 full Ironmans. Where did the journey start?
So as you know, we live on the Sardinia Bay Road, and
That's right, on the bike course.
on the bike course, and I used to cheer for 7.5 hours until the last cyclist had come past, and I absolutely loved it. But as you know, I couldn't swim. So I just used to dream about Ironman and support. And in 2007, I had a near-death experience. And I was in ICU for about 28 days and came out, and then Chris said, we're gonna celebrate your life. You're gonna go for swimming lessons and you're gonna do Ironman.
Wow.
And that's how my journey started.
I'm keen to hear more about the near-death experience if you're willing to talk about that. What happened there?
Yeah, I'd love to share with you. In 2007, I went in for a simple laparoscopy. I was in recovery and I called the sister. I said, something's burning, something's wrong here. She says, no, nothing's wrong. That's just the side where they operated on. Then I remember saying to her, who's pouring water on me? And apparently when you bleed internally, that's what happens. You start sweating profusely. And I sat up and I said to her, I think I'm having a heart attack, and I cardiac arrested. I bled out totally. Spent 28 days in ICU, and wasn't supposed to make it, and came out new person, new gratitude, and the ability to face my fears. And that's where it started, and I raced in 2008, and the rest is history. Most beautiful journey of my life.
I mean, I feel like I can relate. As a cancer survivor, I know my doctor said to me, like, when you have a trauma like that, you just look at life differently through fresh eyes. Do you feel like after that trauma, do you look at life differently?
I definitely think you do. It's forced me to look at my fears, and it's forced me to not take anything for granted. So whatever I do with such purpose and fierceness and ferocity. I mean, I line up to win.
It's health, it's appreciating that health. It's being on the start line, you've done the work, you're healthy, and if anything small goes wrong, it doesn't compare to what went wrong years ago.
I mean, come on, you know, if you think back to 10, 15 years ago when you overcome your cancer, I mean, you shouldn't have overcome it, and you did. And you just kept on building the momentum.
I almost feel like it's a cheat code because when you're in Ironman and you go to that dark place, you have this powerful experience to draw from, which I feel like some people maybe don't if your life's just been easy, you know what I mean? Like,
I think you are 100% right. My body went through such trauma, and it's taken me years and years. I still deal with the trauma that my body went through. But you know what? I'm so grateful for this body. She is freaking awesome and amazing. And I'm not afraid of that dark place. I actually welcome it.
wow.
Come.
Yeah.
Let's find that place.
In 2023, I was in the race, you were in the race, you were running with a friend of mine, Jabu, who has personally been a trailblazer in Ironman for people of color. And the two of you were running side by side, and you did an incredible, I think, 3:30 marathon or something. And that is like one of the special moments for me, just witnessing it as an athlete on the course, not being able to run as fast as you guys, but witnessing that.
Yeah. So Jabu is an insane, sorry, this leaves me so emotional.
Keep going.
I passed Jabu on the bike last year, and I went past him, and I said, Jabu, what happened? You know, and he says, had a flat. I said, just keep it together, you've got this. And I got in, and I forgot about him, I started running. The next thing, this flash comes past me, and it's Jabu. I said, Jabu, you machine, welcome back, you know. He's like, yeah, Mish, you know. He says, can I run with you? I said, only if we stick to the pace. And yeah, we started running side by side. The people in Port Elizabeth were going crazy. I mean, Jabu is like the legend, and I'm like the white girl, you know? It was amazing. He went through rough patches, I went through rough patches, and we just would not let each other down. We ran the entire way, and I got this awesome picture on the finish line where we come down the finish line. I said, together, hey, Jabu. And as we got to this finish line, he stepped back. And he let me go over, and I turned around and high-fived him. Yeah. And it was one of the most emotional experiences of my life running with that man.
You are so fierce on the start line. Where does your mental strength come from?
I can't actually put a word to it. I think you either have it or you don't. They call it big match temperament. I love racing. I love pushing myself. And I've done the work. I trust myself. I actually back myself quite a bit, because if you don't, no one else will. And you need a healthy mix of magic and madness to do this. So to the people with lots of magic and lots of madness, come and join us. This is for you.
So what is it about running that's so special? Because I grew up as a cyclist, you know, I resisted running for the longest time. Now I have absolutely fallen in love with it. What is it about running that is so special to you? I know you love it.
Welcome to the team. Running. I'm passionate about running. I love what running can do for you. It's almost like spiritual for me. It's therapeutic. I process a lot of my thoughts, and the fact that the Ironman finishes with a 42-kilometer run, the most challenging distance in the world, which people aspire to do. When you finish and cross that finish line, you've achieved greatness. You're like 0.1% of the population, which has done something spectacular.
That's true, actually.
Running is also a place where I'm very close to my late father. My dad taught me from a young girl how to run, how to be fierce,
Wow.
how to never back down.
What's your run PB off the bike in an Ironman?
3:30.
That's incredible. That's like 5 minutes a K.
Exactly.
Plans to go faster in the future?
Listen, I always want to go faster. I've had 3 hip repairs, three operations on my hips, And after my last op in 2016, the surgeon whispered in my ear, "I've made you faster."
No ways.
So listen, until I die, I'm gonna be going faster. It'll also be on my gravestone. She wanted to go faster.
Can I get his number, please, if you don't mind? Well, thanks for spending a beautiful morning in Nelson Mandela Bay with me. We got to run on some of the race course and then these delicious drinks at the VAT precinct. I'd never been here before for a drink, you know. Nelson Mandela Bay's got all these hidden gems that when you discover them, you're like, where's this been all my life? Do you find that as well?
120% spot on. Thank you for the invite and for chatting to me. And I look forward to many more.
Thank you. We're down in the Barkens Valley at the VAT precinct, which is such a cool melting pot of arts, culture, and food. And I'm here to meet a very special friend of mine. She's someone who is an advocate in the triathlon community and exudes confidence and courage. Let's go and meet Becky Gitangi.
Becky and Zylan, welcome to Kaya's Kitchen. My name is Kaya, and today I will be showing you a very traditional South African dish, what we call umfino. So what I'd like you guys to do to start off with is to chop the onion and some leeks, get that going, and then I'll check back in with you.
Thank you.
Becky, so this is a great way to spend some time with a friend. Let's see, hopefully we don't mess this up. I know you're actually Kenyan, but can you tell me your background? Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in rural Kenya, but just had an opportunity to travel the world, and I find myself here through expatriate parents who were working.
Was sports something that you did at that age growing up in Kenya?
I mean, there was sports in school, but I was not involved in sports.
So when did that begin then?
Only when I came to Nelson Mandela Bay did I really encounter like sports on a love level, not just being asked to do something.
If I'm not mistaken, you found running when you came to Nelson Mandela Bay. You weren't running before that in Kenya and Botswana.
I found running in Nelson Mandela Bay, and what was so special about this place was the people, the community, the sunrise, the sunset, the landscape. I mean, we are so privileged here to be able to distress through running and so forth. When I am in that zone, nothing matters around me.
So then what was your first exposure to triathlon and how did you become aware of the sport?
My first experience is when I came to watch the corporate triathlon, which my friend was partaking. And I didn't even know that you could do the 3 distance together, like you could combine swimming, biking and running all together. So
it's not just really, one sport you're showing up for.
It was an eye-opener for me. And of course, the corporate triathlon happens on the day before the full IRONMAN. So that was also good to see people of different shapes and sizes and from different backgrounds partaking in this sport.
So did you then partake in the corporate triathlon challenge the following year?
My first attempt was a 70.3 in East London. So yeah, true story. So corporate happens in January, Feb, right?
Yeah.
By September, I am swimming and I'm biking, and somebody offers me an entry
to 70.3 South Africa, East London.
Yeah, right? East London.
One of the toughest ones in the world at that time.
Exactly. There I was in September with an entry. I still cannot cleat on a bike.
Oh, wow.
And just still, barely can finish even a K, swim in the pool. And I was keen to start a race in January the following year. So that was my first race. This looks good. I think I'm just going to let it simmer now.
You can start smelling it
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, let's...
I wanted to ask you, you didn't finish your first 70.3 that you took part in. Why didn't you give up then? What's the mentality and drive behind going again?
Failure is not an option. You know, we have to pick ourselves up and carry on. And I was so determined to conquer my fear of water, more so that I was pulled out of the water. And also I just wanted to see if I could do the full distance. So the following year I was back on the starting line to do the 70.3 again.
What drives you then to help other people achieve that? I know you started Catch Up to help other women overcome those fears. Where does that drive come from, and can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, so besides my own fears, standing in the start line, I noticed the number of women versus the men was skewed, you know, especially women of color like myself. We were maybe 2 or 3. And actually that's where our initiative Catch Up came up from, because I wanted to see more of people like myself in the sport. And also I was curious, why is it that they're not there? And it's not like there was no interest, it's just that somebody had not been socialized in that circle. So it was diversifying triathlon, saying, destroying the stereotype, you know, and learning a skill, you know, so that you're able to save yourself in a drowning situation, but also as a lifestyle. Besides the swimming itself, the biking and running, the discipline that you learn as a person, waking up early in the morning to train, being confident that you can actually overcome something. You know, those are life lessons. And the people you meet. I have friends all over the world. I've been privileged to race overseas as well, but the friendships that are forged beyond our borders, which is just fantastic. And everything is intertwined. It goes beyond just triathlon as a sport or participating in a race. And the reward, of course, is that red carpet and the medal and everybody cheering you on.
So you've already made an impact on the sport here in Nelson Mandela Bay. What's your hope for the future of the sport here and globally as well?
Personally, my Kona dream is alive one day when I grow up. But overall is, you know, sport is a powerful tool. We've seen that it's a great unifier. It creates a perfect platform for people from all walks of life to come together and celebrate. And they're all individuals in this sport, fighting their own battles. However, that finish line is just something magical that brings everybody together. So personally, I would like more women to be inspired, our young children to be inspired to come through sport, because we know the ripple effect is engaged mind. You get our kids out of trouble, you get community that is actively participating, is more healthy. But my ultimate is to see more women coming to triathlon and get to enjoy or see this different world that I get to experience.
Couldn't agree more. And I mean, you're a personal friend. I've said that many times, and I've seen the impact that you've made on the sport. So well done, and keep going. Let's keep pushing, man. And yeah, thanks for spending this time together. We're going to taste this food in a bit. We're going to see how good of a cook we are and take all the credits. If it wasn't going so well, we're going to blame the chef. But yeah, we've done lots today. We got to see the beautiful city together. Yeah. Thanks for spending this day together like this.
No, thank you for the opportunity.
In South Africa, a braai is much more than just a method of cooking. It's a tradition that brings people together, symbolizing unity, friendship, and the celebration of life's simple pleasures. It's about sharing our stories, our aspirations, and of course, great food, all in the spirit of togetherness. There's no better way to end this journey than a braai with all the incredible athletes that I've met throughout this series. What an incredible journey we've been on. It was truly special for me to hear these wonderful people's stories and see their vulnerability. Some of them are my closest friends. Some of them I got to know through this journey, but all of them I got to meet through Ironman. That is the beauty of sport, unifying people and bringing people together. And that's something I will take with me for the rest of my life. That is the beauty of Nelson Mandela Bay. This place is its people. My hope for the sport is that we see more people of color get involved. It's to see more people in general face their fears and overcome their challenges, for them to know that nothing can stop them and anything is possible.